Hello everyone and welcome back to the Seasonal Storm. My name is Jess and today's fall DIY video is entirely themed with apples. Apples are a great transitional theme to go from summer into fall. It's perfect for classrooms or homeschool rooms, or really if you just are not a fan of jumping into pumpkins, perfect for your home too. That's where we're starting our fall decorating this year, and my home is with apples. So first up is this apple wreath. Now this wreath is a true DIY wreath down to the wreath frame, which is what we're going to get started with first. So I used a Dollar Tree wreath frame as my, mold base. It's not my base, but I'm taking some actual twigs from some trees near my house, and I've just collected nature's blessings, and now I'm going to arrange them in a circular pattern, and then we are going to take some zip ties, and we are zip tying our base all together. Now don't worry, even though these are green zip ties and they do blend quite well, I will be hiding them. And as you can see right now, it would actually be great for Halloween if I left it long and branchy and spooky like this. But I chose to clip this one because I'm not quite ready to make spooky wreaths just yet. So we've clipped down all of our branches. I use some horseshoeing nippers. I recommend actual gardening shears. Next, to make our apple branches, I've actually taken the pumpkin picks from Dollar Tree. I've ripped all the pumpkins off, and I'm going to replace them with some apples from Hobby Lobby. Now, these are originally $7.99 a pack, and I got them for 50% off, so it comes down to about 24 cents an apple, and these are a really cute little size. Now, this is a wire framed pick, so there's little wires inside of all those. So I'm shoving that wire with a little touch of hot glue into this foam apple and then holding it until it forms. Now, I didn't do this one in a time lapse because I wanted to be able to show you guys how long it takes to hold one down. And as you can see, it dries pretty quickly. Now, you can try to shove that little stem back in if you want to. Some of them I left the stem in, some of them I just decided not to. Honestly, it's probably better without because the stem is the part that connects to the branch. But I digress. So we're going to continue this same step, and this pick had 3 pumpkins, and I'm only going to add 3 apples to it. Now I've chosen this green with a little touch of red on the leaf just because apple trees' leaves don't really change colors as the apples are being picked. So whenever I see an apple pick with really bright fall leaves, it never really fits to me. So that is why this is going to be a mostly green with a little touch of fall color themed wreath, which makes this a great transitional piece. So we have our apple stems, apple branches, and I'm going to weave that pick, as you can see, in with my actual branches of my DIY wreath frame. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take some more zip ties and zip tie these apple branches to our wreath base. Now you will notice, even though I try to make it pretty circular, of course this is not perfectly circular, and that's okay. Nothing in nature is perfect. Now I was going to maybe add some more fall colors at first, and then I decided, you know what, I'm not going to go through a brand new pick. Instead, I'm going to use some leftover leaves from a different pick. So I have put this in time lapse because it's very tedious, but I'm hot gluing each of these little green with little red flecked fall pick leaves from just a sunflower pick or a pumpkin pick or whatever. And I'm just filling in. This is a great thing to do to use your leftover pieces if you have any. So I kind of am calling this the whatever works wreath. As you can see, I'm only filling in really one half moon shape. I'm not filling in the whole wreath form. Now you absolutely could. I'm sure it would be beautiful, but for this wreath's purpose, I am not. Next, I'm taking one of these 6-part signs from Dollar Tree, and I'm using an X-Acto knife, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out the section that says apple picking. And it takes quite a bit of pressure and some quick bending back and forth, but if you score it out, it comes out pretty quickly. Now I love this apple picking little sign. I'm cleaning up the edges right here because it goes with our apple theme, but the white pumpkin really doesn't. So you're going to see me trying to figure out what to do to cover that up, or if I should just cut it out. And I came up with a pretty good plan. Now, I love a big bow on everything. However, for wreaths for sale, I don't always add super crazy big bows. So I made this 2-layered bow Both sections are from the Dollar Tree's ribbon selection, and I've just hot glued one of my big bow bits in front of that white pumpkin to conceal it. All in all, I used $5.25 in materials to make this wreath that will be made available for sale at Circle S Western Marketplace. Now this one is being displayed in my home, and those leaves might look a little bright to you, but I've made yet another version of a fall tree, recycling one of my Okay, so this DIY, we're actually taking a tree that we made for the summer with lemons. We're gonna rip all these lemons off, and we're gonna replace these lemons with some apples, and we're gonna redo the foliage down below. If you're interested in seeing how I make my trees, I'm gonna link a video from Olivia's Romantic Home below. She makes tons of these. We're also gonna be doing a different version of this with fall leaves pretty soon, but first I'm gonna redo this one for my coffee bar. So let's get to working on this one. So my first step is to remove all of the lemons, and instead of changing out my foliage for this, I'm just going to reuse the same foliage, and I'm just applying some of those same fall apples from Hobby Lobby. They're not fall apples, they're just in the normal floral section. Next, I'm going to remove most of my foliage from down below and replace it with these Dollar Tree sunflower, pumpkin, pinecone, and heather picks, but I'm leaving that main greenery piece for now. I might end up removing that at a later time, but for now I think it just works to help fill in the base. This goes up pretty high in my house, and I liked it to have a nice full base. Now I've rolled and tucked one of those pumpkins underneath the teapot handle, and then I'm going to pull the sunflowers and kind of twist them around the base just to give them some height, and then one of the sunflowers I will fold down, there it is, and kind of give it more of a staggered appearance. So we're going to fluff this out, and that's it. That's the whole project. It goes super quickly. I didn't shove a ton of apples on this tree just because I wanted it to be a little bit loose, kind of like maybe it'd been picked over a little bit. But I love how it's just a little hint of harvest and fall without going all in just yet. Now the last project of today is this Dollar Tree sign repaint, which I put our name on with Ward Ranch. And I thought this one was really, really fun, and just kind of brought together the whole theme. So as you can see, we're taking the Summer State of Mind sign. Now I'm still seeing these out in stores. I would recommend stocking up on a few of these for winter crafts. I love making all the different mugs for all the different winter and fall holidays. And my first step is I'm taking a pencil and just sketching out the cup and the straw design. Now we use the clear mason jar cups in our house all the time, so I'm doing a very light coat of a white mixed with a touch of blue to kind of just give it that glassy appearance. And then I'm going to go over in pencil and I'm going to write the words on the sign that I want to include, which says Ward Ranch Apple Cider, fresh and hot. And then I'm going to mix up my apple cidery color. Now, oh, and then first, because you want the straws never on top of the drink, so I always paint my straw behind, but honestly, I kind of mixed too thick of paint, so we lost the straw. You'll see I'm taking a few different apple barrel paint colors and mixing them together and then striating them so that they give some depth and dimension. And again, this is a handmade item. It does not need to look perfect. Next, I'm mixing up some more blue and white, and I'm giving some depth and dimension and shading to my sign before I go over it and add highlight. Remember, shades always are put down before highlights, and that goes for the rim as well. And you can always add more light to blend it out and make it brighter. So just keep that in mind. Paint is a very forgivable item. I'm getting some pointers from the resident best painter in my house. Not gonna lie, he's better than I am. Okay, so next I'm really outlining where I'm going to go with my Sharpie markers, and I'm taking a permanent metallic pen and giving some more dimension to my cup before going over my words with a black Sharpie marker. Now for some of these words I will go back and paint them in, but for anything that is narrowly written or fine print, I'm just using that Sharpie marker for those. And I've taken the color Pavement, which is kind of a blue-black, and I'm filling in the ward. And the rest of it I'm going to kind of leave light. For the eye on Cider, I actually painted the eye dot as a little apple. And then I'm adding some more dimension with those markers on my cup and straw. And then I'll add a little touch just at the top of our jostling apple cider. And then I decided I wasn't quite done yet and I really wanted to make the ward pop on the sign. And so I added even more of our glassy colors with silver and blue metallic permanent marker. And here is the final sign. I love this one. I love how it's so simple and it'll look so cute above my coffee bar when I get this all set up inside of my house. But I'm not quite ready to do that yet. I also styled this with some other Dollar Tree signs, as well as a fairy village house and some more apples down below. I hope you all enjoyed today's craft, and I hope to see you guys in future DIYs. Expect a similar video to this one using some pumpkin themes and maybe even some other harvest themes like corn and wheat as well. And before I let you go, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. And if you're interested in seeing more, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching.